All right, Shalom. For the foremost, I want to give my praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and to all the Akim across the globe. Preaching the word in truth and sincerity, I want to say Shalom. This is Diane Nawa from the great millstone camp, Chicago. Another lesson. Now, this lesson been on my spirit for a little bit, going to the word toxic masculinity. And it brought to the point that if toxic masculinity was harmful and bad, right? Teaching young boys how to be men, all right, teaching them how to survive in the world in a place that was not designed for them to excel, which is here in Babylon, all right. So if toxic masculinity was all bad, then that means that all the single moms, all right, who have no men in the households, their children would turn out great, as opposed to what statistics say that those who don't have a father in the home are more likely to drop out of school, do drugs in jail, and things of that nature. So is toxic masculinity truly bad? And the answer is no. All right, Salaki. So I'm gonna get into the question, or get into some of this, and it says, what is toxic masculinity? It says toxic masculinity involves cultural pressures for men to behave in a certain way, and likely this affects all boys and men in some fashion. All right, and what's wrong with that? Because boys are supposed to behave a certain way. All right, boys and girls, men and women, male and female. There are two different types of people, man, spirits. All right. All right, there are traditional roles for men and there are traditional roles for women, which the Lord set up. All right, there's nothing wrong with you teaching your son how to defend himself. All right, how to be a leader and not to follow the fashion of this world. Okay, how to work with his hands, so to speak. How to not be emotional in making decisions. Okay. All right, not dressing up as a girl or doing things that pertain to women, and vice versa for women, not to be manly, out there, driving forklifts and just doing manly ass work, man. Speaking manly, all right, dressing manly, all right. So toxic masculinity, hey, there's nothing wrong with it, all right. The toxic masculinity refers to the notion that some people's idea of manliness perpetuates domination, homophobia, and aggression. Right? But the Lord called men to be leaders, and heads of households. All right, and to be looked at and to be viewed as being somebody strong, man. All right. Now, is everybody going to be a boxer or a fighter? No, but they're going to have traits and characteristics, all right, of being a leader, being assertive, okay, looking people in the eye when you speak to them, shaking their hand with a firm shake, all right, things of that nature. And homophobia, hey, look, it's not being homophobia, okay, being homophobic, all right, it's about what's right and what's wrong, man, all right. So when you're teaching your son, hey, all right, boys like girls and girls like boys, not boys liking boys and girls liking girls, okay? All right, we don't teach homophobia. We teach the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord. All right, we don't see so-called moles, as the apostle like to say. All right, when we see them, we're not scared of them. We don't think, we know we can't catch it. All right, but at the same time, all right, when we see those things, yeah, we should be telling our children that that's the wrong way to go, man. All right? And aggression, hey, there's nothing wrong with being aggressive, man. A man's natural character is to be assertive, all right, to be tough, so to speak, man. And there's nothing wrong with that, man. All right, a man should have some form of toughness in him, some form of aggression. All right? It says this idea that men need to act tough and avoid showing all emotions can be harmful to their mental health and can have serious consequences for society This is how it became known as toxic masculinity. All right. It says, all right. So basically, all right, it says that this idea that men need to act tough. It ain't that we need to act tough. The point is that there's certain traits that we have that women don't have, man. All right. And men are emotional. All right. We deal with it certain, we deal with it differently. Okay. But the point being is that both men and women go through emotions. But being a man, we got to control them. All right. We got to judge right. All right. And for those who don't have a man in the household, right? Those single moms or whatever, you see how their kids are raised. They're emotional, all right? They're effeminate, okay? And the list goes on and on, all right? So I'm getting to the couple of precepts of Lord Witness lesson edifying. This is Sirach 3. And once to hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be safe. For the Lord hath given the father honor over the children, they have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Right. So that's, that goes like a two-parent household, man. All right. Because both parents have their proper roles in teaching and guiding and governing their homes, their houses, man. All right. This is I'm gonna go down to 8. It's honor thy father and thy mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations, man. All right, and you see this a lot when we have like so-called joint custody, where where the child spends a week here at the dad's or whatever the time may be at one parent's house, then another time at the other parent's house, man. All right, you can teach your child certain mannerisms, certain instill in them certain things they need to maneuver in this world, right? But then they go home to their mom and they totally destroy what the father put in them, man. All right? So you may have a little girl and you might not want her to wear shorts, that are, above the knee or whatever, okay? So when she's at your house, you talk to her about being a woman. All right, you teach her, you talk to her about not having a bunch of men. But then when she goes home to her mom by herself, well, what example is there? All right. Now there are some good examples of mothers out there, right? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the ones who are out there doing TikTok shake your booty challenges, all right, in the sight of their children, in the sight of their sons and their daughters, man. All right. See, these things are going on where there's no leadership around, man. Where there's no dominance or a dominant male figure around, man. All right. So toxic masculinity was bad, and these single moms, all right, wouldn't be having these issues with their children, man. Okay. All right. So let me get this real quick. Wow. In 1 Corinthians 11:3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is the Most High. All right. So the father's the head, man. He's the head. He's the head of the house. All right. He's over the woman. He's over the children, man. All right. But he's being guided by who? By Yahweh Shemi Shai, man. These women who are single moms, hey, they're not following or being led by Yahweh Shemi Shai, man. All right. They're being led by emotional, vindictive, all right, bitter women, man. All right. Yeah, you got these women out here trying to raise these kids, and got them painting their nails, man. All right, got them wearing dreads. Hey, a lot of these little kids out here, man, I be seeing with these dreads, man, I be thinking they're girls, man. So you turn around and it's a boy, Men shouldn't be having their sons out here looking like looking like mop heads, man. All right. Okay, so let's read that again. It's about what have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man. The head of Mashiach is the Most High, man. All right. So, hey, it establishes order, man. All right. Is Titus 2:1 said, but speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperance, sound of faith and charity, patience. The age, right? And these are things that are supposed to be instilled in you as a youth. All right, aged men sober. All right, mean being aware. All right. Grave, temperate, being balanced, sounding of faith and charity, and then patience, not being emotional, man. All right? Not being ruled by your emotions. It says, verse 3, there's the aged woman, likewise, that they be in behavior and become of holiness, not false accusers, not giving them too much wine, teach them good things, man. So you got these women who question their kids about what happened at daddy's house, or what did your dad talk to you about, all right? Or when I'm gone, hey, you watch your dad and you tell me everything that he does when I come home, man. All right, and that's what they do, man. All right, they end up turning the kids against the fathers. All right, and they create a pattern of mistrust. All right, toward their fathers, a pattern of disobedience. Okay, because the father, my father be like, hey, no I don't know, no cookies before breakfast, right? But the mom would be like, hey, ain't nothing wrong with her having the cookies. Ain't nothing wrong with X, Y, and Z. You see? All right? So the aged women likewise that they be in behavior as become of holiness, not false accusers, all right, gossiping, right? All right, lying, all right? Not giving too much wine, teaches a good thing, right, man? A lot of you women are fucking drunks and alcoholics, man. All right? Turn up Tuesday, turn up Friday. You always turning up, man. All right. I used to do a lot of security, at clubs and bars, man. These women in there be out their goddamn mind, man. Drunk and in there with wedding rings on, sitting at a table with a bunch of men. The teachers are good things, man. Right? Not doing all these goddamn TikTok challenges and setting bad examples, man. Twerking in front of your son, man. Twerking on your son, man. Got your daughter in diapers, shaking her pamper, man. You know, hey, those aren't good things, man. But hey, but no, man. Let's get this real quick. Let's get this. I think it might be in the park. With no hedges, possession is spoiled. Let me see. Sirach 36:25. Where no hedges, the possession is spoiled. And he that has no wife will wander up and down mourning, man. Right, so there's no protection. All right? The possession is spoiled. And what are men's possessions, man? It's their family, man. All right? Their wives, their children. So when a man's not around, they're spoiled, man. They're given over to the to Esau and the world to raise, man. That's why you got a lot of these people, a lot of these men, all right, who grew up without I ain't call them men, a lot of males who grew up without a father. They don't know how to handle rejection. They don't know how to handle pressure. They don't know how to handle when things go wrong, arguments and being down. Everything they learned is from their mom and from rap music. Like their brother Raleigh just had a video. I didn't watch it. He said trap music, man. All right, you're being raised by trap music. So we gotta be careful, man. All right, about what you put out as put out a perception of what reality really is, man. The toxic masculinity is in no way toxic, all right, to the household, man. All right? The women the women have their role, and the man has his role, man. All right? But when you have no heads, no strong masculine man, all right, those in his house are going to be spoiled, man. They're going to be given over to the given over to the cares of the world. Titus 2 and 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. How you gonna show your daughter how to love her husband when there is no husband in the house, man? All right. How you gonna tell them? How you gonna teach them how to be sober? All right. When you got wine bottles and empty Hennessy bottles all over the place, man, and to love their children, man. And you got a lot of these women out here, man, who leave their kids in the car while they go shopping, all right, dragging a little shorty hand across the street while they walking across the trying to cross, just dragging them, calling them names, man. All right, how you showing love to your children when you don't treat your own children right? Do you honestly think that if a couple was walking their children across the street, that the man is going to allow his wife to drag the arms of their child across the street, talking about some "come on, little nigga"? And that's why I don't, just being totally negative to them, to the kids, man. To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husband, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. Right, man. This is order, man. All right. How you gonna teach a child how to keep a house when your room is nasty, man? How you gonna show your daughter how to please her husband when you don't please your husband, man? And then you get mad when she out there following in your footsteps, man. Be discreet, be chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, man. All right, how you gonna teach your daughter to be obedient, all right, to her husbands when she hears you on the phone talking all types of talking down to her dad, man? Okay. See, without the man in the household, man, all these things, are transferred. All these negative things are transferred to the children, man. All right. So to be sweet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. Men likewise exhort to be sober-minded, in all things showing ourselves a pattern of good works and doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity. All right. So the point being is that there are roles that each gender has to play. All right. That's all I really had, man. So with that, once they call law, y'all must be on shy. Double honor to the apostle and elder of the great millstone. Till next time, shalom and a blah, blah, blah.